Good morning, friends, and welcome to the finals hall here in Munich, Germany for the first final of the day, 50-meter rifle prone men. I'm Hillary Russell, and I have the pleasure of having Italy's Olympic champion and Olympic silver medalist in 3P and 10-meter air rifle men, Niccolo Campriani. Thank you for being with us today, Nico. How are you doing?
Good morning, good morning. Thank you. I'm fine.
Are you fine?
It's a little bit cold here, I guess. I was better in England, probably, where I'm studying.
That's pretty sad to say, because usually England is the one that everyone complains about the weather and everything. But here it has been absolutely freezing cold and rainy and windy, and it just has not been a whole lot of fun for the athletes who have got to shoot outside. We've heard a bunch of complaints, but we can't do anything about it, unfortunately.
No, it's probably going to be really, really hot in Granada for the next World Cup. So
exactly.
I guess crazy weather.
Coming off of Fort Benning, where it was also even there, it was unseasonably cool in Fort Benning, and then coming here, I never had any idea that I would have had to bring a parka with me, and I didn't have a chance to do that. So I think we're all suffering in the cold. In just a second, I'm going to have a chance to go over our 8 finalists today. And then we can just go over quickly the new finals format. Just to keep in mind, all these 8 athletes after qualifications have entered into the final, and their qualification scores are erased, and they all start with 0, so it's a fair game for everybody.
And the International Shooting Sport Federation welcome you to the Olympic shooting range, Munich. The finals competition for the 50-meter rifle prone men event will now begin. It's my pleasure to introduce
on firing point H, representing Slovenia, we have Raymond Debovic.
I mean, he's the legend of shooting gold medal. Many years ago, he's still here, bronze medal last year, and he's 50. 1 month ago, he got his 50.
Unbelievable. On firing point G, representing Serbia, we have Nemanja Mirosavljev.
Another really good friend of mine, really good shooters, and he can make a final in every event, a rifle, prone, 3P. So hopefully we'll see him again on top of the podium or on the podium.
That would be great. On firing point F, representing Germany, we have Henry Junghanel.
Yeah, he's doing really good. I mean, he's again another of these guys that study in the United States, with Kentucky University, and just won 2 golds the first World Cup in Korea. He's doing really good.
On firing point E, representing Germany as well, we have Mike Eckhart.
Yeah, Mr. Eckhart. I mean, that's it. The average age in a prone final is this. You need to be expert, and especially in days like this with that kind of wind, you need to be an expert.
On firing point D, representing Italy, we have Marco Di Niccolo.
Well, I'll root for him, of course.
Of course.
He's my teammate, he's my roommate when we go to World Cup Olympic Village, and he just became a father a few months ago.
Congratulations. Wow. On firing point C, representing France, we have Michael Dalouvan.
Yeah, I think he's the youngest shooter in the final. He did really good. It wasn't an easy day in the qualification round, and we'll see how he deals with the new final.
On firing point B, representing Austria, we have Thomas Mattis.
Yeah, I shot many times against him as a junior. He's a really good sling shooter. Prone, kneeling, awesome shooter.
And on firing point A, representing the Republic of Korea, we have Young Chun Choi.
Well, Korea is probably the new country of shooting. They did extremely good at the last Olympics. They topped the medal rankings, and they always bring new people. I mean, I never heard of him, so
I never have either, so it's always interesting to see. You see that with China and also Korea, that people you've never seen before, they enter into a final, win the gold, and then you don't see them again.
Yeah, you know, they can do that. I mean, I've seen by mistake. I saw one of those national ranking in China. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's probably even better than the World Cup. I mean, thank God we have only 2 Chinese at the Olympic Games, because it would be really hard otherwise. No, I mean, extremely good. I guess they have a great school. I hope to go there and train with them. I'm trying to organize a training camp, maybe 2-3 weeks in Beijing, training with the Chinese national team. Try to bring Petra, my girlfriend, with me, and I bet it's going to be an experience. I mean, I learned so much from the Americans, and I think this is my way of improving. I don't have really a coach. There is a national coach, Gabi Bullman, but honestly, I like to learn from other shooters, share different opinions, and see what the others do in order to deal with problems. It's really interesting.
That's great. Best of luck to you if they allow you in. You know, whenever I ask any of the Chinese shooters about what they do for training, they don't give away anything. It's a big secret.
Well, I mean,
which they should. You know, it works for them.
The language is a barrier too. Maybe it would be nice to talk to many of those shooters, but they really can't speak English. So we will see. We'll see. I mean, being there, I'll try to help, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
once I'm there,
They
I
could
will
learn a
share
lot from
my
you.
experience. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was the deal with Americans as well. I learned a lot about shooting in prone when I was over there, about shooting in the wind, and I try to help in standing. And for me, I mean, it was just amazing that a real friend like Emmons was on the podium with me at the Olympics. I mean, we all trained together, and honestly, at that point, it wasn't really about Italy versus United States.
No.
We really didn't care. I mean, we're just trying to
Two brothers
face.
on the podium.
And I mean, we both had nightmares as well. I mean, I had my last shot in Beijing. He had his last shot in Athens and Beijing. So we were trying to figure out maybe a solution for both of us that would work. And it was great. It was great to share that moment with him.
Let's talk about a little bit of what's going on in your life recently. What's happening with you?
I'm busy. I'm busy with school. I am finishing my master in sport engineering in England. Just finished my classes now, working on my thesis, and yeah, I mean, I took basically a year off from shooting. I've done a little bit of air rifle. So, for example, I shot at the European Championship and in Korea, but I mean, I'm not training more than twice a week, and I just needed some time to to recharge my batteries, think about something else, and also figure out, you know, these new rules it is a big change, and of course there is still room for improvements. I really hope so. A lot of shooters are talking about how we can improve this format. We're still in a testing period, and we will see at the end of the year. Hopefully we will collect some feedbacks and give it to the athletes representative, and I'm sure the ISSF will listen to us and see how we can improve the sport in a better way altogether, of course.
Right. It's a great idea. And you're working on a project as well, is that right?
Yeah. I mean, that project is finished. I'm here in Munich because we present a new air rifle with Pardini. I mean, Pardini is famous for their pistol, and when I did my internship with them in 2010, well, I convinced them to produce an air rifle. So we kept it secret for a few years, and finally we're here to present it. Basically, I mean, I am a shooter, but the good thing is that I always travel around. I always share my experience with other shooters, so I knew what the shooters want, and yeah, the loading in position is going to be an advantage. So right now you can't load in a rifle in position. You always have to use the stand in order to put the pellets. This time it's going to be just like a small bore. So you stay in position, you settle down, and when you find a position, you just keep shooting. It's easier to keep the pace, and especially it's going to be a big help with this new final. Really fast, you know, 3 shots in under 50 seconds for a rifle. It is quite fast. So if you can stay in position, well, it is an advantage. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, I started using it 1 month ago, and it's good.
Good luck to you with that. That's great.
Thanks.
Let's take a look now. We've got the first series under our belt now. Debevitz is holding on to first place, and he is holding on to that over De Nicolo and Jungenel, who are tied up in second place. They're only 0.3 of a point behind, and only 0.3 of a point behind De Nicolo and Jungenel, we have Mattis. It's a very, very tight final at the moment. We've got another series of 3 shots to go before we go into single shots. So, I mean, it's really anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, we see the 3 expert shooter right now in first, second, and third place. I'm happy to see Marco, and we'll see what happens. I mean, Jungenel, I think he's showing that he's probably one of the top 3 shooters in Pro right now. I was pretty upset that he did not shoot at the Olympics last year. It's hard. I mean, they have travels and everything, so it's not easy for him. But he was definitely one of the top shooters last year, and I think he's taking his revenge.
He
this
certainly
season.
is. I mean, he's just has had a fantastic season so far. And I wish him the best and to keep up the good work. Now, Nico, how important are these first series that you shoot really well? I mean, is it hard to make up points if you don't start off well in the first two series?
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it with the ISSF if maybe we could move, you know, the first elimination a little bit after, because right now, yeah, it is important. It's maybe too important because I mean, a mistake in those 6 shots and you're out. You don't have time to catch up.
Right.
So we're just thinking, 8 shooter, is it enough to understand if you're a good shooter or not? Maybe you know, it's also a matter of chance. So we need to figure out the minimum number of shots. But yeah, it is quite stressful. I mean, you saw me this year. I struggled quite a lot, and it's a different kind of shooting. It's 3 shots in a group. It's a different skill set.
So let's take a look here. Mattis has now moved up into first place. He's only holding on to that by 4/10 of a point over De Nicolo. Debevits has moved down into 3rd place. He's tied up now with Jungenel and only 4/10 of a point behind De Nicolo. Still, it's really, really close. We're going on to single shots now, and after these 2 shots, the first person will be eliminated, whoever's in 8th place. And right now that's being held by Choi from Korea. 1.1 of a point. Do you think he's got any future in staying into this final with just 1.1? He's...
Well, see, maybe for 1 position or 2, but I mean, it's really hard to go back on the first few places. And I mean, I'm happy for Mattis. He's doing really good. I think Austria is quite lucky with these new shooters. Ungarn just won gold a few days ago. Mattis is really young as well, so it's like a bright future for the Austrian shooting team.
So some high scores.
Matt is still holding on to first place. He's kind of pulled ahead a bit by 8/10 of a point now. De Nicolo still holding on to 2nd place. And just 1/10 of a point behind De Nicolo, we've got Debevits. And Jungenel now is 3/10 of a point behind Debevits. Choi still is in 8th place, and he's 9/10 of a point behind Daluin.
Will decide 8th place in this final.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
Here we go now. It's Choi. I mean, he's in trouble. He needs a really, really good shot. And yeah, and I hope for a 9 of the other shooters. But
10.7.
It is a good shot. Yeah. And the 9 came as well. A few other shooters. We'll see what happens.
It's not going to be enough, unfortunately. We are going to have to say goodbye to Choi from Korea. Just half a point behind Mirosavljev. We've got a tie now for first place between De Nicolo and Debevits. Mattis has moved down to 3rd place. He's only 1/10 of a point behind the 2, and Eckhart is 3/10 of a point behind Mattis.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we kind of see these with these new rules. It is a different skill set. Choi won the qualification round, and with this different kind of shooting, he just didn't handle the final. Now we will see. Marco is in the 1st place. I'm quite happy with that. And but all the shooters are really, really close. So
really, it's anybody's game. This is the thing, you know, you have one bad shot and you go right down into last place. You know, this is what makes it exciting for the spectators, but does make it really stressful for you shooters.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's hard. I mean, right now we're talking about World Cups. You can imagine in Rio, and there is an Olympic medal and everything. It is going to be stressful, and it is going to be important to get there with a good mental preparation.
We have Debevits now, who's moved up into first place, overtaking Denicolo by 0.8 of a point. And we have a three-way tie for third place between Dalun, Jungenel, and Mirosavljev. Matis is holding on now to 7th place, only by 1/10 of a point. So it's really going to be down to this last shot to find out if he can stay in or if he's going to be eliminated.
I mean, Debevits is amazing. I mean, he was shooter of the year, I think, in 91 or 92. And he shot the world record. He still has the world record in 3P in 91. And he's still there. it's just unbelievable. And we'll see what it's going to do. I mean, we're halfway.
.7 for Matis. That's the way you stay into the game without a doubt. And in fact, Matis has now moved up into second place. He was holding on by a thread there on 7th place. Unfortunately, now we're going to have to say goodbye to Mirosavljev. Debevits still is holding on to first place. He's put a little bit of distance between himself and Matis. He's 1.1 of a point ahead of Matis. Daluan is only 1/10 of a point behind and also tied up. Still three-way tie between Denicolo, Jungenel, and Daluan.
And I mean, 1.1. That's good for Debevits, especially with this kind of final. If you have an advantage, it's good for you, not just for the advantage, but you're just a little bit more relaxed.
That's right.
While all the other shooters right now, they know that if they shoot a 9, they might be out. So it's not definitely easy for them. But yeah.
There you go, 9.9.
They got relaxed. He got relaxed as well.
So the highest score in that round was Denicolo with a 10.5.
So we now have Eckhart, who's holding on to the elimination position. Second place right now, we've got the tie for it with Denicolo and Matis. Debevits has eaten away a little bit at his lead. He's still ahead, though, by 0.6 of a point. One more shot to go to find out who is going to end up in 6th place.
For the next competition shot, low.
And we'll see which one of the German will stay in the game. If Jungenel or Eckhart. Unfortunately, they have to fight against each other this time. Eckhart at 9.9.
9.9, that's not going to help out his situation here.
So we have our next
In fact, we are going to have to say goodbye to Mike Eckhart from Germany, finishing off in 6th place. Debevits' lead is dwindling down. He's only ahead by 0.2 of a point. Denicolo is in 2nd place, and 1/10 of a point behind him is Matis. This is after Matis shot a great 10.7. Denicolo, the highest score, at 10.8.
Yeah, 21.3. Those 2 shots, that's really
that's
good.
Not bad.
Yeah. It's more than 10.6 average, so that was helpful. And now Debevits is close again.
Wow, Daluan 10.8. In fact, Debevits still in the lead by 0.2 of a point. We've got Jungenel now 0.4 of a point behind and in 5th place. This is going to be the deciding shot for 5th place. And we know that Jungenel definitely has it in him to shoot in the high 10s, so we'll see if he can stay in the game.
Oh, Harry can do it for sure.
Yeah.
He is one of the guys that can never shoot 10-7 or more if he wants. So it's up to him now. Whoa, another great shot from
Unbelievable.
French shooter, 10-9.
And a perfect 10.9 for Daluan. Matis a 10.8. And with that 10.9, that's the way you climb out the scoreboard. He has overtaken Debevits. He's up by 2/10 of a point, and tied up with Davidovits, we have Mathis.
French shooter shot 21.7, and I mean, the maximum is 21.8. It's 210.9, so amazing, amazing. Maybe if you shoot out of the device, it's not as precise.
And in fact, we're going to have to say goodbye to Henry Jungenel from Germany. Fantastic shooter, great person. He's got a great future ahead of him, without a doubt. So this is kind of like the tight shot here. The next two shots are going to determine who's going to be going for the medals and who's going to be eliminated. And we have Daluan in first place by 2/10 of a point.
Yeah, I'm sorry guys, but I had to root for Marco.
Of course.
So off. 9-9 for Marco.
For Marco. That puts him in fourth place. He's 1.2 of a point behind Davidovits. Mathis is in first place by 3/10 of a point, followed by Daluan. Davidovits has now moved down into third place. He's down 3/10 of a point.
Oh, it's quite nice to see that the two younger shooters are in the lead, especially in prone.
This is what we've been seeing a lot, Nico, is that the young ones that we haven't seen in finals before seem to be taking hold of the new finals format. And maybe it's just because they haven't shot in the old format, or they're not used to it. I'm not quite sure, but we're seeing a lot of new faces on the podium.
I mean, we also have to remember that this is the year after the Olympics, so all of us, all the people that shot at the Olympics, we are all pretty tired.
Pretty tired, exactly.
We needed a break as well. And of course, I mean, new ones, they're quite they're new at this sport. Of course, they shot in their national championship and everything, but they're hungry.
Yeah, they are.
They're hungry, and they're definitely really competitive.
So unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to Marco De Nicolo from Italy, finishing off in fourth place. We've got Mathis in first place by 3/10 of a point over Daluan. Davidovits is in third place. He's 6/10 of a point down.
I'm just trying to figure out if I'm the young or the old right now.
Don't think about things like that.
Kind of in between, right?
Yes, you are.
Damn.
It just depends on how you feel.
Start.
Okay, we've got Davidovits 6/10 of a point behind, 2 shots to go to find out who's going to be going home with the bronze.
Another good shot for the French shooter, 10.4.
So an excellent
It's great.
Mathis and
Both
Davidovits
10-7.
scoring
Excellent job
10.7.
there. Mathis still in first place, and I'll tell you, the crowd here is rooting for him, without a doubt. We had singing going on the other day when the other Austrian won. It was great. We have Mathis ahead in 6/10 of a point, and Davidovits is only 3/10 of a point behind. This is a shot that will tell us who's going to be going home with the bronze.
I want to go hard on Raymond, but I mean, Mathis is 22, French is 23, is 45 years old together. Still younger than him. All right, Raymond looks great. A lot of fitness. It does look 50.
Whoa, 10.8 for Daluan. And that does it. Raymond is out. He's going home with the bronze medal.
Raymond Davidovits.
Still, really, congratulations to him. It's just amazing.
We've got 2 more shots to go for the gold. Here is our bronze medalist, Raymond Davidovits.
10.8.
Now, this is the deal. We've got 1/10 of a point separating first and second place. Mathis from Daluan. Who would you put your money on?
Well, I don't know the Daluan, honestly. I know Mathis is a really good guy. I trained with him in Innsbruck before the Olympics as well. I don't know. I mean, maybe Mathis.
10.5 for Daluan.
Oof.
10.2
Sorry,
for Mathis.
See, don't ask. Don't.
No,
Don't.
let us change the scoreboard around a little bit here. We've got Daluan, who's now overtaken Mathis by a mere 0.2 of a point. One more shot to decide the gold.
Look, I don't really know if it is advantage or not, because it's always easier if you're behind, you know, when, especially when the speaker says you're leading.
Where you are.
You're leading and there is one shot to go. I don't know. I prefer to stay second and 1/10 behind, honestly. But that's me, right?
That's right. Everybody
who knows?
has individual ideas. Ooh, 9.9 for Daluan. 10.0.
Well, not enough.
Unbelievable.
1/10 behind.
What's happened here?
We lost the ranking, but yeah, if the math is not an opinion, I think the French shooter
Yeah, I
should
believe
have
that
won
he
by
has.
1/10. It was really, really close.
And just waiting for that confirmation.
The initial response from me was a win, but we need to wait for official results.
And there we go. Daluan from France has won the gold medal by 1/10 of a point over Mathis. Great job for this young man, without a doubt. It'll be nice to see France on the highest step of the podium.
Once again, I mean, Silverflan won last World Cup. And Mathis is happy too, of course. I mean, 1/10 is nothing. It's
No,
kind
it
of
really isn't.
deserved the gold medal as well. So, and he knows that. So that's a good thing.
So Nico, thank you very much for joining me today. Good luck with your new project and this new rifle. I hope it all goes well for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's new motivations, new Olympic cycle, new rules, new rifle, new everything, and yeah. So maybe I don't feel that old.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony for the 50-meter rifle men's event will now take place. The medals will be presented by Mr. Tomislav Sepic, Chairman of the Rifle Committee and member of the ISSF Administrative Council. Your bronze medalist, representing Slovenia, Raymond Debevic. Your silver medalist, representing Austria, Thomas Mathis. And your gold medalist, representing France, Michael Daluan. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of France.